Hello and welcome, Genesis International College students. Let's jump right into this explainer for your CPCCCO2013 Learner Guide, specifically Topic 4. We're going to master something absolutely crucial today, placing concrete. I actually like to call this the perfect pour. And the stakes here are pretty high, right? Concrete is famously unforgiving. Once it sets, well, your work is literally set in stone. There's no hitting the undo button. Getting it right the first time isn't just a nice goal, it is the absolute standard. So let's dive in and make sure you're totally prepared to ace this process. Okay, so get to that perfect pour. Here's your mental roadmap for the procedure. Step 1, prep, which is all about cleaning the site. Step 2, mix, getting the concrete ready. Step 3, place, pouring and consolidating the mix. And finally, Step 4, level, screening the surface. Let's kick things off with Step 1, prep. Cleaning the site. A perfect slab, it's completely impossible without flawless preparation. Sweeping the base ensures a clean, strong bond. As you're stepping into the field, you've really got to internalize this. Removing loose soil, stones, dirt, debris. It's non-negotiable. Seriously. Why? Because any loose junk left inside the formwork or on the base is going to stop the concrete from bonding the way it should. It creates these invisible weak spots. Believe it or not, you are building the foundation of your slab right here, just by picking up a broom. So, what exactly are we hunting down out there? You need to walk the entire perimeter and look out for some specific hazards. First up, sawdust and timber offcuts. You might look at them and think, they're tiny, they'll just mix right in. Nope. Actually, scratch that. They act exactly like little sponges, soaking up water right out of the wet concrete, which leaves you with weak, soft edges. Definitely not what we want. Second, you've got to grab any metal scraps. Think tie wire snips. If you leave those behind, they'll eventually rust right inside the cured concrete. That causes ugly stains or, much worse, structural cracking. So sweep it, blow it out, vacuum it, whatever it takes. Leave nothing behind but a clean, firm base.
All right, moving on to Step 2. Mix, getting concrete ready.
The moment water hits the cement, the chemical clock starts ticking. It waits for no one. Depending on the scale of your job, you're going to use one of two mixing techniques. On one hand, we've got hand mixing. You do this straight on a clean, flat surface or in a tray. You'll grab your shovels or hose, blend the dry stuff first, and then slowly, and I mean slowly, add the water. It's definitely labor-intensive, but it's perfect for those smaller patches or minor repair jobs. On the other hand, for bigger jobs, we use machine mixing. This is where you fire up a mechanical drum or a pan mixer, whether it's electric or fuel-powered. You toss in the exact same materials, but the machine gives you a highly consistent mix every single time. That consistency is an absolute must when you're tackling big, continuous pours, like a driveway.
Now for the main event. Step 3, place, pouring and consolidating. Once you start placing that concrete, you've got to keep moving. Work continuously so the whole slab cures as one giant solid mass. But here's the catch. Pouring is really only half the battle. We also have to consolidate. See, when concrete gets poured, these invisible pockets of air get trapped deep inside the mix. If you just leave them there, you get what we call honeycombing. It's this weak, void-filled concrete hiding right beneath the surface, waiting to cause problems. Consolidation forces all that trapped air to escape, leaving the concrete dense, uniform, and locked in tight around your steel reinforcement. Now, the most common way to get that air out is with a mechanical vibrator, but precision is everything here. You always want to insert the vibrator vertically and deeply. Push it straight down. Do not drag it around at an angle. If you go in angled, you risk bending your carefully placed steel reinforcement, or you might scrape the form boards. If you scrape the boards, dirt gets into your pristine mix, and boom, your beautiful edge finish is ruined. To guarantee that perfect slab, you have to be methodical. Work in a grid pattern. You're going to move across the slab, inserting the vibrator every 300 to 400 millimeters. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the spacing of one vibrator head. It's like making sure you cover every square on a checkerboard. This logic ensures every single square inch of the concrete gets an even amount of compaction, leaving absolutely no weak zones behind. Okay, here's where things get a bit intense. You need to follow a super strict 5 to 10 second rule for each spot. Rely on your eyes and your ears. Watch carefully and pull it out the second the air bubbles stop rising and the surface of the mix starts to look glossy. I literally cannot warn you enough about the dangers of over-vibration. If you hold that thing in one spot for too long, the heavy aggregate sinks straight to the bottom, the water rushes to the top, and you get what's called segregation and bleeding. And the end results? A weak, powdery surface that is 100% 100% going to fail inspection. So 10 seconds max, then move on.
Obviously, mechanical vibration isn't going to work for every single situation. Maybe your formwork is jam-packed with steel, the section is too thin, or there are strict noise and safety rules on site. When that happens, we switch to manual alternatives. These physical workarounds include things like rodding or spading, which is just pushing a steel rod straight down to release the air. You can also lightly tap the outside of the formwork with a mallet to knock those bubbles loose from the edges, or try shaking small form panels by hand, or even tamping the top surface with a beam. Yes, it takes a bit more physical effort, but these methods are incredibly effective for locking in that precise consolidation.
We are almost at the finish line. Step 4, level, screeding the surface perfectly flat.
So the concrete is poured, the air is out, but right now, it's just this chaotic, lumpy, wet mass. Screeding is how we bring order to the chaos. You use the top of your form boards as your guide. It's this very deliberate, kind of rhythmic 4-step process. Step 1, position your screed board right across the formwork. Step 2, pull and saw. You're going to pull the screed steadily towards you while doing this side-to-side sawing motion. This cuts down all the high spots and pushes that extra material right into the lows. Step 3, refill and rescreed. Notice a hollow spot opening up behind you? No problem. Grab a shovel, drop a little concrete in there, and hit it with the screed again. And step 4, check your alignment and level as you go with a spirit level. Just work section by section until the entire surface is perfectly flush.
And let me tell you, when you stick to those steps with real discipline, the payoff is huge. You get a flawlessly finished surface. It's a beautiful, smooth, level base that matches the design heights and the falls required by the plans perfectly. It's a great feeling to step back and see that.
So, to wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Are you ready for your next site assessment? Look, by internalizing the critical why behind all these steps, from why we sweep out a tiny piece of tie wire to respecting that strict 10-second vibration rule, you aren't just memorizing a textbook. You are truly mastering the craft of concreting. Master these steps and you are for sure going to confidently ace your CPCCO2013 assessment. Best of luck out there on the site. Genesis students, you've got this.